Action. All right. Well, I'm here with MisPryss.
That wasn't much of a question.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a correction. It was like, I'm here with MisPryss. I mean, so I kind of think your interview is probably the most important one. Just because, like, J.A.C.S has a big personality, so he'll get loud and just talk over people.
Yeah.
Me and Luis both grew up in, like, Mexican households, which, if anyone knows, is like people would think you're yelling, but it's like, for some odd reason, when you talk to your family, your voice just gradually rises.
You kind of get that, like, elevation where it's like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah, and, like, I think Luis is fine talking over people sometimes. And, like, I try to do it less, but, like, I always try to get my, like...
2 cents in.
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes you just, like, you know...
I don't get a chance. I really don't. And it kind of sucks because I'm just like, and we're off that topic. And we're off that topic again.
So, like, I think your over interview is probably, like, one of the more important ones. Just for, like, people to actually see your personality.
Yippee!
Or, like, get your 2 cents in as well.
Guess that's fair. I did notice that when we were trying to talk to Jason, I was like, I don't really have anything to add to this because I'm like, on top of that, I am the only one out of the group that hasn't been a part of the group for a very long time like you guys have.
Well, I mean, you've been part of the group for a long time. It's just not like...
As long.
Yeah, because, like, me and Luis met during elementary. Me and Jason in middle school. And then you came, like, junior year of high school.
Yeah. I mean, hey, without Jason being in that choir class, I wouldn't have met you guys at all.
That's true.
Hey, if my personality wasn't as cool as Jason thought it was, I wouldn't have never met you guys.
I mean, did you not have classes with anyone else?
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
Just Jason?
I didn't have a class with Hannah. I didn't have a class with you. I didn't have a class with well, besides choir, Jason, I only had one class with Jason.
Okay. Because, like, I know you didn't have any classes with me, but I wasn't too sure about anyone else. And, like, Luis went to a different school, so...
You're like, you can't really say that you had a class with Luis. You were at a different school at that point.
Yeah. Well, he was.
Exactly.
Oh, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 25. I'm about to turn 26, which is terrifying. It's like that middle of midlife crisis setting in, of course. I truly, truly love animals. They're amazing. At some point, either my career will go down the path of trying to become a veterinarian again, or be a zoologist at this point, because animals are pretty important to our ecosystem. But, I don't know. On the side, I legally sell marijuana. It's cool. Like, it's awesome, actually. Because, you know, I get free weed. I get to sell weed to people. I make people happy. You know, I do art. Trying to get the big bucks in by trying to learn how to draw furries somehow. I don't know. I think for a long ass time, from the very beginning of finding out what YouTube was, when my sister first started me off on YouTube with stick figures on crack. And if any of y'all people know, that's, I think, where a lot of my inspiration for wanting to do animation came from. And a lot of the reasoning behind that, after years of watching content on YouTube, has made me want to become my own personality on the internet. I don't want to say a YouTuber. I don't want to say an Instagram thought, or I don't want to say like I don't like those terms. I just like the idea of being able to have a side hobby of, like, let's make someone laugh.
So with that, like, I don't know, at least when I did my channel, or I guess when I'm going to, I don't necessarily want to put up a personality, you know? Like, you don't have...
I mean, that's fair.
Like, some people have, like...
You
like,
make a character.
It's still them, but, like, they like, act up, or, like, they play it up a bit. Like, I personally don't want to do that.
Yo, guys, this is me. I'm just like this all the fucking time. Like those.
Yeah. But, like, at the exact same time, I'm like... I feel like it's easy to fall into that.
It is, because a lot of people either don't have the attention span, or the major amount of people that make up YouTube are children.
That's true.
And that's kind of hard to like to have like a, hey guys, what's up? And then someone stick to that, you know?
I mean, come on, Moist did it.
He simply gets to do that because he is a fence sitter.
You think so?
He makes it funny, but like it's more of like the, hi guys, I have every time I sign off, I say the same exact thing. And I don't want to say the situation is good or bad, but I'm just going to stay in the middle.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know. It's
No offense.
I
I
mean-
love Moist Critical. I literally watch him like almost every day.
I mean, is
so-
it like what we were talking about, like on the way up here, where it's like maybe he's just trying to stay apolitical, you know, just because he doesn't really want to.
He doesn't want to make people have to like be like, you like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You like Kamala Harris. Just go digging for like something he said along the lines of something political, and then people being like, let me make up and be the voice of this dude, because obviously like I'm an incel, or I'm a fucking crazy leftist, and I want this person that I like to have this certain personality that I like to validate myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's crazy how people have like this automatic assumption that your political views have to be the forefront of your YouTube channel. It's like, for me, like we were talking about, I also don't believe, I don't like either political candidate, but that's just me. Like everyone else is entitled to their own opinions and feelings on how the presidential candidate goes, but I don't want to get into that. That's not where I'm at. I don't care about who's president, because it seems like every time we have a new president, whether they're Republican or Democrat, it just...
We're back. We got interrupted there.
Technical difficulties.
I mean, I want to call it technical.
I mean, it seemed pretty technical.
Well, yeah, but when you say technical difficulties, I assume, you know, it's with like our shit.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't with our stuff. It's me trying to help.
It's more or less like, because of someone having a technical difficulty, it's now our technical difficulty.
Guess so.
Do
you know what we left off on? Because I do not.
Something about being passionate about politics. Even though I'm not. But we don't have to go back to that. That's some stupid shit anyway.
Definitely not.
Did you have any more questions?
Of course.
You're like, well, no shit.
I mean, I don't know.
Did you still want me to talk about myself?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is to get to know you better, you know.
I don't remember what the last question was.
Well,
I don't think it was a question. It was more or less like, what do you do? Are you alive? Do you breathe?
Basically. I don't know,
I do be shitting.
I don't know, are you fully comfortable on camera yet? Because I know with me, I still don't feel, let's say, super comfortable.
Actually, because of how I was raised, I'm actually plenty comfortable with being on camera. My mom always thought that maybe because I wasn't so into school, she thought that maybe I could have some kind of secret talent, like my singing, or my drawing, or even me being able to just cry on cue. My mom got me so used to being in front of a camera because she thought I was supposed to be an actor of some sort.
I mean, I don't believe it, but I do think you have a really good voice for singing.
Yabba-dabba-dee-da-da. Tequila.
Tequila.
I don't know. That's something I want to grow upon, but I think I also need to get over the fact that my mom... I have this weird thought process of my mom trying to use something that I personally didn't want to use in that sense, whether it was, you know, becoming a singer or becoming like, I don't know, like an art teacher or something, or I don't know, a famous actor of some sort. I don't know. But mom got me kind of used to being uncomfortable, or comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Okay.
Which, I mean
you
it's
do,
good and bad thing.
I know you do want to do music, but like, I guess you don't want to sing, or like what?
It's hard because I like a lot of ambient melodic music with no voices added. Either that or it can be a voice added, but it's more of like a sound bite than like an actual like singing chorus on it. But at the same time, like if I were to make a song or like, I don't know, a lot of my songs have words to them and they have sounds, but I don't know how to put that sound into paper. I don't know how that sound would be created. I wouldn't know what instrument would be required to make it sound the way I want it to. So that's me wanting to also try and go to guitar lessons and maybe even like try and find somewhere where I can actually like one of the things I have a hardship with singing is, and this goes back to cardio, is like
It takes the wind out of you.
it takes a lot out of you. Like, and I don't know how some people do that. Like, they can sing all of their albums on stage and then not feel like they have to like breathe through a can of air or something, you know? Granted, I don't know if it has something to do with where I was born. I was born in California, and in California, you're actually 91 feet below sea level. So coming to a state that's also another mile up, so that's, let's just call it 2 miles. That's that's something to get used to.
Well, it's like I know you don't pay attention to sports, but that's like that's always a big thing that gets brought up in sports is like the altitude advantage and how like that
You
gives.
can push your elasticity of your lungs a little bit better.
Well, it's like, well, like if you look at studies and shit, it's like it makes more red blood cells when you're higher in altitude, so you have more endurance.
You got a little pump going on too.
Yeah, but like in sports, they always bring it up when like the team visits because they're like, oh, the altitudes go wear them out faster, and like the players that play here are used to it.
Fair.
Which granted, I mean, you've
It's
been
like a
here.
typing advantage for Pokemon, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you've been here for a while, but granted, like maybe your body hasn't like fully adapted to like the altitude still yet. But
I mean, doesn't help that I'm
all right, cool. That should be the last.
that should be the last one. I forgot what we were talking about again.
We were talking. We went. What was it? We were talking about the altitude and how that like befuckers people.
I guess that's also another reason why I kind of want to take advantage of like working out in this state.
I want to do the benefits of working out at elevation.
Yeah, because I think it'd be beneficial for me. I mean, granted, it's hard being an asthmatic person who smokes weed, who also is trying to quit vaping, very much so trying. But I think it'd be beneficial eventually because once I cut down from smoking weed as much as I do and I stop vaping and well, I can't really do anything about asthma. Asthma is just your lungs being fucked. But you know, once I work on all of that, it'll feel like I'm less of an asthmatic smoker. You know, I don't want to be no lean beef patty, but
Like trying to get ripped, shredded.
I would love to, but I would like to do it in a pace where it feels like I'm actually getting the benefit of like wanting to have a body type like that, because like it's one thing to get like instantly shredded, but then you don't get the instant gratification of like I watch my body build. Like I watch my body go from like a slender husk of a skeleton to like, oh, you got some muscles on your like your ribs, and you got like muscles on your arms, and you actually can like lift weight and stuff.
Well, I mean, it's a process. Nobody really goes from like instantly, you know.
Not unless you're using gear.
Even then, it's not instant. Like you still need to put some work in it.
I would assume so, but I feel like that's a lot of the end goal for people is to just be instantly shredded, whether it takes months or days or even taking gear. I think it's more or less people just want the outcome without actually reaping the benefits of like,
Well, yeah.
hey, this day I felt, super shitted on because I couldn't get the weight lifted up, but that's just another step for me to want to, a hurdle that I need to get over.
Yeah, I mean, like, most people that are on gear, a lot of them just want like a shortcut to it, which, it's kind of terrible for them at the end of the day, but, oh well.
I mean, I can
what
understand in this day and age, like, everyone has this perceived way that they're supposed to look. And if you don't fit in that little corrugated spot, then you feel like you're left out or you're missing out or you don't get to reap the benefits of, fitting into that category, so to speak. But
Well, flying here.
I don't know. I like the idea of the gym, going to the gym, because like I like the idea of just having like an hour to 2 hours of just do this thing. It'll benefit you.
Yeah,
Shut your brain off. Shut the fuck up.
That's reminding me of the thing that's at Hana, where it's like autism is truly, or working out is truly for autisms. Repeating and counting your emotions.
That's the sucky part, is I'm not even like that autistic person that sits there and counts. I do it until I get tired. Like I don't count. Granted, I'd probably benefit from counting, but at the same time, like, my brain is so just clear.
Well, like, so for me, working out, like, I always enjoyed it, and like, I go into like what I consider a meditative state, because like it's like my mind's blank, and like sometimes I lose count, but like all I'm really focused on is like moving the weight.
That's all I realistically care about, is making sure. That's why whenever I deadlift, because deadlifts are so important to me, that I always make sure that I always check in with you, being like, hey, did that look funny? Because that felt funny. And then you sit there and you're like, no, that's fine. And I'm just like, okay, well.
I mean, it happens, like, it's like, it felt a little bit funny, but like, in reality, your form and shit was fine.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Alright, well, step away from that. So you did Twitch for a while, and you're supposed to start a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I like the idea of Twitch, is because it felt like you were interacting with a live person, even though like I'd sit there for hours waiting for someone to comment and be like, hey, my favorite comment was this dude that would come into my stream and he'd be like, spin on your motherfucking head. That shit was my favorite. But I think I don't like the idea of having to figure out what I'm supposed to do on stream, because I feel like streaming is kind of hard in the sense of like, you either have to have that demographic of people being like used to you just kind of like, and like reacting without a sound or without any actual like addition to what has been said. But at the same time, I'm like, how are you supposed to keep someone's like interaction time with you? Like, how are you supposed to keep that watch time up with having to constantly figure out, okay, well, reacting to this is boring. What do I do now? Because that's honestly, it's either you've got reactions, you've got hot tub streams, you've got.
Well, to be fair, hot tub streams and like certain things,
It kind of falls into the category of like basically OnlyFans at this point.
Well, no, like Twitch at least has started phasing those things out, where they're like, we don't necessarily want these because it's a bad image.
I mean, yeah, especially when you're like, you have to be at least 13 to be on Twitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was fun because I actually got to interact with people in real time. I didn't have to wait for someone to comment on a video from like 3 months ago and then, that's it. You know, like, I don't know. Or like the idea of having a real feel conversation with someone live. Slash, I don't know, I like the idea of having that idea of like, I can stop doing what I'm doing to be able to like have a connection with someone who is willing to watch my content.
Yeah. I mean, do you plan on going back to that in the future, or like starting that back up?
I might, but it honestly it won't probably be like every week or like, oh, let me pop in a stream like every like 3 days out of the week
You're
or
not got like a set schedule for it. It's like, you know, I kind of feel like it today.
pretty much. Cause honestly, I'm like, I feel like there is a big difference for me personally from making videos and streaming simply because making videos is like, it's time consuming and you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it. And I'm not saying that like streaming isn't the same way. Like you got that dude Kaisenet who blows fireworks off in his house. That's pretty ingenuitive, you know? Letting your stream watch your house burn down.
I'm surprised they haven't burned that house down yet. It's all the dumb shit they've done in there.
Like, I don't know. But I don't like the fact that you have to find new, crazier ways of getting someone to sit and watch your streams like that. Like, you either have to be like, you have to be a VTuber, or you have to do crazy shit like that, or you already have to have like a set, like, viewership to be able to sit there and kind of just be reactionary, but not crazily reactionary, you know?
So I mean, you don't want to be one of those the cheap versions of a VTuber, like what is it, like the JPEG people.
It's just literally just an image that moves their mouth.
Occasionally, or like does like expressions once in a while.
Or they're animated like that. I mean, YouTube actually is more down that route than anything because I feel like a lot of people nowadays don't see that as like a worthwhile content.
I guess that's fair. I mean, I don't know about you, but like I enjoy some streamers, but I mainly watch their like clips on YouTube instead of like actually going to like their streams.
That's honestly the only big reason as to why I want to still stream is so that I can get those like clippets of like, hey, this is a canon event. Watch it happen in real time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What's your plan for the YouTube then? Because like I know you want to make like animations and like maybe some commentary stuff.
I kind of want to do like an intermix of both, to be honest. I don't know how, because I still need to learn a lot, like video editing processes. I need to learn like, oh, how can I convert this to make this work? Or, you know, the baseline of like shit that you should learn to become a YouTuber or to be your own personal editor or whatever. But I definitely like the idea of bringing back old idea skits to YouTube. Because, for one, there's, like I said, there's like a new market of children to watch. That's sadly going to be a big portion of it, but I'd still like the idea of like getting feedback from people who have cognitive abilities. No offense to children. No offense to children. Just, you haven't lived long enough. You don't know what the first like YouTube days are. And that's good because then like once you start making content like that again, it starts hopefully rebrandishing other content as well.
Oh, you tell me you don't want kids to grow up with Shane Dawson doing blackface or that one creepy Nissan dude doing random shit.
I like that simply because it gives the viewer an opportunity to be like, is this a worthwhile content? Like, is this like, is it gonna be fucked up? Am I gonna see this person canceled in the next year for like fucking a cat or something? Like,
Yeah, I forgot about that controversy.
yeah. No, I'd like to forget too, but
Like it's ingrained in me.
yes, it is. And I think that's also a big reason as to why I want to do YouTube is because I've been on YouTube forever. And that's not a flex. That is definitely not a flex. But it's kind of cool seeing the perspective of like, okay, like 2010, like that was like, you know, where skits started transferring into, you know, commentary, and then, you know, some skit videos are still out there, but I feel like a lot of them are commentaries. Which, I mean, granted, that's basically what my skits are kind of going to be about, but it's mostly going to be a skit, no matter what. It's going to just be, let me point out the flaws of people on the internet.
I mean, do you have a certain skit that like, or like certain creator that made skits that you're like inspired by?
Well, funnily enough, the first ever like person that I ever watched on YouTube was Markiplier.
Marky Poo.
And I mean, granted, that was also around the time where like video game reactionary content was also a thing. But I don't know. I always loved the like Niga Higa skits. I liked
What was that, like How to Be Ninjas, that stuff, the classics.
the classics, the good videos. I still love like animation content like Psychic Pebbles, Oni and G, Speedo Sasuru. And I don't know, the way I hate saying it, but I was subtly raised on the internet. I feel like I am a part of these sad new generation of children where it's like the only exposure to life you've ever gotten was YouTube. Which, I mean, no offense to my parents, but my parents did not raise me.
Mm.
Like, I think YouTube was more helpful with everything that was going on in my life than anything. Like, fuck, I really was so terrified of my first period that I had to look up on YouTube what it's like to be on your period. What to do. What am I supposed to do? Just,
Like spell.
yeah, release. But I don't know. I have learned a lot of, you know, social stuff from YouTube, which I think has helped me become the personality that I am today. But at the same time, I think it's also made me lose some part of myself in that action of, let's see what this person thinks about what's going on, or let's see what this person has to say about this certain type of emotion, or what does this person have to say about just getting your life together in general. And it's like, I love that, because then that gives someone a baseline of where to fix themselves, which is awesome. But at the same time, it's like, you're different. Like, you can't just follow a set guideline and then hope to God that it fits. You have to make it work for yourself. And I think YouTube can be helpful, but I also think that YouTube is a good escape for people. And I think that is why I have this ingrained idea that one day I will make YouTube videos that will help people, at least for a moment, escape reality.
Just like get through the day.
Something that they could just be like, I'm gonna go home and watch this dumb bitch's video and maybe have a laugh or two.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure we all have those. Because I remember going home to high school and be like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, this person uploaded today.
I miss that. I kind of miss that a lot, because a lot of my algorithm on YouTube is just like cop videos, commentary videos, and then, you know, like the occasional like good videos like Meat Canyon, or like I'm in and out of Oompaville at the moment, because like I like his stuff because it's very educational, and he makes it pretty fun by being the personality that he is, but at the same time I'm like, I get tired. I'm like, it's good to be informed, but at the same time I'm like, I just want to go back to when YouTube was like, I could just click on any video and then have like a laugh. I don't have to think. Laugh, because I feel like a lot of the new stuff you have to really think about, or honestly a lot of the stuff that I have missed out on was a lot of cultural stuff. So like, I don't know actors. I don't know artists, like beyond like drawing artists. I mean like musician artists, or basically missed out a lot of the world because I was so absorbed into the YouTube world that I had missed out so much on what was happening into our own world. And I don't know if that was a coping mechanism of some sort, but I mean, it worked out. I don't know.
Honestly, for me, growing up, like I'm kind of in the same boat where like I don't know people's names, but I know them. Like I know their
You know their
art.
personality.
Well,
And
no,
like,
it's not necessarily I know their personality. It's like I know their art. Like I know their music. I know them as an actor, and like maybe as like a sculptor or like you know like other type of art form. Like I know them from that, but I don't know their names. I don't know who they are as a person.
I
And like
mean,
there's a lot of times where like Eddie was showing us that 150 Cent song. I was like, holy fuck, I remember this song. I used to love it. Had no idea it was 50.
I mean, and honestly, that could be just attributed to like we're just growing. We age, and then new stuff gets put out, and like then you forget about this artist, or you forget about like this one hit wonder. Like Party Rock Anthem.
Hey, they had two big songs, okay?
Nah, I only care for one.
And plus, they kind of broke up and like went to separate ways, and then like one of them tried to start up Party Rock again with like his different person. That was the entire like weird mess.
Exactly. That's just kind of like just how it goes, honestly. And honestly, for me, I have a hard time grasping the idea of like those social constructs of like, oh, I need to know this person, or I need to know what this person does, or and I mean, granted, that might be the ADHD autism in me, where it's like I'm more entranced in other people's lives because I just like watching. I like watching, you know? But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't care. I really don't. Like it's good to know like what's important to you, but at the same time, it's just like if it don't stick, it don't stick.
Mm.
Non-stick ban here.
I mean,
Puts a ban on my brain.
so a lot of good creators, I feel like, from our time, growing up, have turned out to be like terrible fucking people. And like, I don't know, do you believe in like separating the art from the artist, or like, how do you deal with that? Because like, I know for me, like, I look back at some of them like, damn, I really enjoyed the content. It's something that I had to look forward to every single day. But I'm like, god damn, the artist is like a terrible person though. So it's like I don't really support them, but like the memories are still there, like the fondness.
It's hard for me because it really depends, sadly, on the controversy they're in. If it's something that they can come up from, like, hey, I said the big no word, and I didn't mean to. I'm not necessarily saying it out of the reasoning for the word. I just say it because it's a gamer word. Something that they can come back from.
Well, like PewDiePie's bridge incident.
Well, exactly. He came back from that.
I mean,
I mean, he
partially.
grew as a person, but granted, he also did start his own family.
Yeah, I mean, he did come back from that, but there's still plenty of people being like he's a right wing lunatic, and it's like that makes no sense.
Honestly, I like the idea of leaving a person to their own ideals as long as it doesn't hurt anyone in the end. Because, like, it's one thing to be, saying a word and then being like, oh, fuck, sorry, that was a gamer word. I don't intend to use that for the word's usage. But at the same time, if you're out here like diddling kids and touching animals all weird or some shit like Shane Dawson, or like even like talking about it, like that's where I kind of have to draw the line of like, okay, can this person come back from this? Can they apologize and that be a meaningful apology? Or can they just cover it up and then be like, I never did that? I never said that. And it's like, then that's where my true appeal of like, no more for you. No more viewership anymore. Like, you can't be doing that.
Okay.
Because like, it's one thing to enjoy like a song, but then, you know, knowing that, I don't know, the singer did something controversial or hurt somebody or killed somebody. Like R. Kelly.
Well, he didn't kill anyone.
He pissed on a minor. That's pretty
See,
terrible.
I feel like the two that always come up is like R. Kelly and like
P.
Michael
Diddy?
Jackson.
Oh.
well, P. Diddy now because, you know, he's the most recent sample.
It's like, I get it if you can have that, like, of like distinguishing, you know, hey, they're a great singer. I don't care what they do personally. That's cool. But at the same time, I'm like, how can you personally continue to give this person viewership, or how can you continue to listen to this person's song? That's like, it's totally invalidating what's happening, but also just incentivizing it. So you have to do your own due diligence of, can I support this person and continue to differentiate?
Well, it's also kind of different nowadays because, like, at least in the past, it would be like, I bought the CD, you know, like, I own it. Like, the proceeds already went to him. But, like, now, from this point on, I'm not going to support any of his new stuff. But nowadays, it was, like, streaming everything. It's like, no matter what you do, like, unless if you buy the physical media, like, or pirated it, you're still technically supporting them.
That's kind of, I actually had a conversation with Lexi, because I'm just like, why is it that there is so many people in New York that work in Amazon? About 40% of the Amazon workers that work in New York are living in their fucking cars. But this dude, Jeff Bezos, is like the first trillionaire?
Well, Bezos doesn't even run the company anymore. He's technically retired.
He's still getting money though, right?
Well, yeah, no, he still owns Amazon. He's just not in charge. Because he's like, he was like, hey, he's like, I still own it, but I'm going to retire. This person's going to be put in charge. And he's like, I'm going to go enjoy my life.
Lucky him. I'm glad that he has the money to do that.
Well, yeah, but like, also, like, you know, well, Amazon, I mean, granted, it's a giant global thing now, but like, when I first saw it, it was like a shitty online bookstore from Seattle.
Yeah, we get all our starts. And it's just like, for me, mentally, like, whether it's Jeff Bezos or whoever the hell owns it, they're still getting benefits from the simple fact that people are like, this is immediate, I can see the product, and I want it now. While these poor people are suffering and being like, damn, I can barely make enough money to go to work and then go sleep in my car and eat. And then on top of that, the only security that these people have are basically shitty 401ks. And I'm like, I'm afraid of that. I don't know what the world entails for Social Security or 401ks, but that's just terrifying.
Well, no, I mean, growing up, I always heard like 401ks, so like, not 401ks, but like Social Security for our generations could be pretty much useless because the previous generations probably go use it all up and like
leave us with absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
But also, like, was that like New York has its own like big problem with like how much like the cost of living is up there.
I mean,
and like, don't get me wrong, like here in Colorado, like the price of living is also going up, which kind of sucks.
It is starting to look like California out here. On the price point, at least. People are a lot nicer here than Californians. That's for damn sure. But, I don't know. I hate the fact that you can take the easy way out and be like, well, I'm retired. And it's like, but you didn't set this company up to be beneficial for the people that work there.
Well, yeah, I mean, that does suck, but like most companies don't really set out to do that, you know? They're just like, this is our mission. This is what we could do.
If you want to be a part of it, you can.
Yeah, I mean, also like, you know, like I don't know. There's really no. I think there's like one, like couple companies that are co-ops, but like this just makes things a lot more complicated.
It's fair. I don't know. I just don't like the tactics that they're using on these people. It sucks. And it's like, I get it. You are the business owner, but without the people, you would be absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I hate the fact that people are taken advantage of every day like that. I'm not saying that we should live in a utopia. That money should just be given to people for, I don't know, having kids or having a life. But at the same time, I'm just like, should be a more affordable way of living.
Well, like me and you have had this conversation. Eddie kind of touched on it the other day. It was like me and Luis. It's like ideally, yes, we want to live in a utopia. Well, that's the way we would desire to live, but like in reality, we're imperfect because we're human.
I also kind of think that I don't think the human view of life would not get in the way of that, because I feel like no matter what, you give humans something to benefit off of and they still would want to take more.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I feel like sadly a lot of people have this selfish, self-indulgent way of living, and I think that's good. But there should be a balance between like, hey, I'm taking care of myself, but at the same time, is there a chance I can take care of my community as well?
To touch more on that, so say this YouTube stuff or Twitch stuff works out, and you become very successful off it. I don't know. Would you plan on doing something like some sort of charity work with it, or like starting a charity?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Honestly, I've thought about if there was a way I could create a business where, like a cat cafe or a dog cafe, where you can go and interact with the animals, and then they're all adoptable, so that you actually have some kind of frame of reference of, hey, I went and did yoga, or hey, I drank coffee, and I got to sit down with this comfortable dog in my lap, and I love a lap dog, or man, I really love a playful cat. And I was just, sitting in the cafe playing with this one cat, or even down to like birds. I think birds and turtles and all of that should be appropriated. Of course, with, like keeping animals separated and, having proper hygiene, because once you start working with reptiles, then you get, salmonella, listeria and stuff like that. Cuz then you don't want to mix like reptiles with food, and yeah. But kind of like it'd be cool to make kind of like a rec center, but a place where you can go do things, but you can also work around animals, and then be like, hey, this doggy is kind of cute, I want that doggy. Either that, or if that is a little unrealistic, because I would need to make a building and then start a business and then flush every single thing out from that. I honestly just want to donate locally, whether it's to animal shelters, homeless shelters, even like, I mean, I'm gonna get probably a lot of slack, but honestly, maybe even help out some of like the LGBTQ community as well.
I mean, you're really gonna get some slack from like,
Homophobes,
well,
transphobes,
I mean, yeah, but like,
people who are afraid.
I mean, to be fair, I would say a lot of that stuff is overblown, but
I mean, I would like to think of it as not like a business practice. It's more or less like, I would like to think of it as like, what do you need help with? Do you need a therapist? Do you need a doctor? Do you just need someone to talk to that isn't either one of those things? I don't want it to be like, hey, you person can get your surgery, or hey, you person, you can have a free house or something. Just like extra support.
yeah, no, that's fair. But I was just saying, like, I feel like most people would be fine with that. It's just like a fringe.
Also, I don't know. I would like there to be a little help with VA housing as well, whether it's helping construct the houses, whether it's putting money towards building materials towards those houses, but I would like to see better treatment of veterinarians. God damn it. Veterans, instead of them ending up on the streets, because I'm not too militarized. I don't really care to go to war. I don't really care to fight in wars, because like that's just it's a thing that's gonna happen, and I just don't like the idea of, you know, regular humans being on the forefront of that because of their patronage, and then them getting fucked over in the end, coming back to a country that they don't know anything. They lost like maybe 8 to 4 years of their time and are confused because they're so used to being on edge and combative that they're just like, I don't know how to assimilate. And I want that to be a betterment for them instead of them just getting tossed to the side like they usually do. Because that's just not fair. How are you gonna do something out of your own will to protect your country just for your country to just throw you to the side like you're nothing? I also would like to, I don't know, it's not necessarily charity work, but it would be nice to start helping out like farmers, or more like Colorado-based farming, because I don't know if you know, a crazy new law has passed that we are no longer allowed to take in caged bird eggs. Every chicken in this entire state has to be free range. They cannot be caged. Which is amazing, but you know, we also have to worry about people holding onto their phones while they're driving. That's awesome. So stupid.
I get that. Like, it's a dumb law, but I get why they did it.
I understand, because there's a lot of people that are don't know how to disconnect from their phone, but at the same time, I'm like, brother, I am changing a song or looking at my Google Maps. I don't have $2,000 laying around to put a screen in my car that's like from 2010.
I mean, you could always get, like, you know.
Nay. It's like I said, it's basically the same concept. If you just put a tablet in a car, it's basically a fucking phone.
I mean, yeah, but, you know.
Like, it's just not in my hand. It's literally bolted to my goddamn center console in my car, but I understand. Just dislike it because I am an average user on my phone, in the car. I just don't text and drive, or I don't like being on my phone while driving. And most of the time, the only person that calls me while I'm driving is my fucking mother, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm driving." And she's like, "Okay." But then, like, when I first started driving, she was just like, "Don't ever pick up your phone. If you need to answer your phone, go to the side of the road."
Well, I mean, to be fair, your mom does live in a different state, so
she doesn't know what I'm doing at that exact time, but even when she lived in this state, she didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I kind of liked it that way, to be honest.
Nah, I mean, I typically don't necessarily want my parents to know what I'm doing, you know.
They don't need to know. That's the thing.
Well, this is, yeah, like, I'm not necessarily up to anything bad, but this is, like, you know, personal space.
It's always good to have your own growing pains, you know? Besides, I don't know about you, but talking to your parents, at least my parents, about, like, emotional stuff, it's just like, why are you like this? What is wrong with you? And it's like, I've seen you cry so many fucking times. I don't know. I feel like I was raised to be like a little mini, you know, therapist.
Really?
Because, I don't know, my mom, I tell my mom that, you know, for 8 years straight, I was bullied because I was the only white kid in my elementary school. Which is crazy. Crazy, right?
Sorry, there's a bird over there.
No, it's a corvid. No, it's a magpie. But, my perspective on that has changed. I'm like, I would like to let my mom know what I'm doing, but at the same time, I don't have to go into detail.
That's fair.
Like, I don't know. I honestly didn't want to tell my mom that I was working at a dispensary because I know for a fact she's going to be like, "You're stoned all the time, aren't you?" And it's like, no, I am just exhausted, tired, and ready to go to bed all the time. That's pretty much it.
All right. Well, with your content, is there like a certain goal other than like, being there or like being like a source of happiness for people?
I think it's gonna also be more of like a self-fulfillment thing because like I don't know. Before I decided to want to do content creation as a 10-year-old child, I did want to be a vet, but I don't know, I went to school to be a vet technician and I hated it. I I don't know. It's nothing against the job itself, it's the people. It just makes it a lot harder.
Okay.
But ever since I came up with that idea as a 10-year-old, I always envisioned myself, whether it was, I don't know, getting some views or a shit ton of views or views in general. Like, honestly, the only thing is that I had some kind of form of digital footprint for myself. Because I'd like to think that even though it's just some dumb YouTube video that I make, it's almost like a video progression of like how I've grown as a person or what I've learned. Or honestly, I mean, not a lot of my content is going to just be skits, but it would be really nice to like make something and then like 8 years later be like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like why did I think that was funny? Or go back and then laugh at myself because I'm just like, damn, that bitch is funny. But I don't know. I like the idea of having a digital footprint, not just for other people to watch, but for myself to be like, wow, I've grown. That bitch looks so young. But I don't know. I would like to also think that granted, there's going to be a lot of work, but once all that work is done, I'm assuming it all just will pay off, no matter if I have views or not on my video, because I have something that is uniquely mine.
Okay.
Whether it's, stupid, dumb videos. Like, the first ever YouTube video I ever posted was, and I can't find it anywhere, and I might have taken it off at some point, but I was like, I was a 10-year-old, and my mom had gotten me a camera for Christmas, because she was like, all right, you're gonna be a movie star. And my mom got me this digital camera, and the first ever YouTube video I ever made with it was just me just making videos of my dogs and cats at the time. But I'm like, just thinking about that and how like honestly dumb I was as a kid, but also like the lack thereof of like the intuition of like, this is stupid. Who's gonna watch a 10-year-old child video record their dogs and cats?
A lot of creeps.
Huh?
A lot of creeps.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't in the video, so.
Okay, well, that's different. I mean, was it a feature creature then?
A creature that features at the creature feature? The creature. Yeah. I don't necessarily see anything coming from YouTube, but that might be due to the fact that I'm just trying to have little to no expectations. Because I'm just like, why expect something that might not happen? Or it's cool to not expect anything and then something to happen. No, that's really fun.
That's fair because I don't think I always hear Jason being like, "Oh, yeah, when we blow up," I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna go anywhere.
Brother in Christ, I'm sorry, but that might be like 10 years down the line.
Yeah, that's fair too. It could just be a while before any of this takes off, but like,
because honestly, I am sorry, but who the fuck is looking up our YouTube channel name? Like, I like it. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong that this channel name makes sense, but I don't see too many people like just looking that up. I mean, it's an easy way to look it up, but I don't really see people going like, Not unless we actually start, actually doing shorts on YouTube, which I
don't know, I might post like cut up clips as shorts. That's pretty much it.
That works.
Unless if I don't know, you or Jason wants to do JK short things, because like I really don't feel like doing that. But
I mean, I have a lot of dumb ideas that would probably take about 10 to 20 seconds.
well, there you go. Maybe more shorts are coming later on then.
I don't know, some way of getting traction to our YouTube channel, because I don't think just making YouTube videos is just going to cut it at this point in time, especially when, YouTube Shorts is like a dominant usage on YouTube.
Well, this is the way it's designed. Like constantly just scrolling on it.
You get that nice short-term dopamine burst when you watch a video, and then you're just like, give me another, and another. I could take another bite. But, I don't know. I didn't like the idea of doing shorts because it just feels like you're trying to attune to those people with like goldfish memories. But at the same time, like, I am one of those people that has a goldfish memory. I can sit and watch some stupid YouTube reels for hours, but I don't know. It's just kind of dumb because I don't want to also be seen as like this is short form content, and then someone get all mad that they're like, well, fuck, when is it going to get funny? When am I supposed to laugh?
Well, to be fair, I think a lot of short form content is all that funny.
Honestly, it does feel a little funky to say, but I'm like, I feel like I have words that have already been said. I just put them in a certain way that makes me feel like I have said something uniquely me. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are either not looking for that personality anymore, or they just don't realize that they're looking for it. Like, only person right now, simply because I've been just like kind of like going through their channel, watching all the videos that I haven't seen, is all like Papa Meat. And I love his stuff because it's a good cohesion of like his personality mixed with something that he just witnessed. And I kind of like that. It was kind of something that I was kind of going down the route, but now that he's got those like weird, scary looking puppets too, kind of reminds me of something that I'm trying to do with the Lottles.
Scary looking puppets? I don't think it. Oh, wait. I think I know what you're talking about.
The toilet, the bed,
the computer,
the oven. The oven scares me because I feel like she's gonna pull out something from her uterus. So, who is it?
I don't think we should enough here. I think this has been long enough, right?
I think so. Other than the cuts. And...
Yeah. I mean,
Whoops.
with 3 cuts,
Yeah. It's okay. Sure, we'll be kind of somewhat fluid anyway.
Yeah, hopefully. All right, well, this was Interview with MisPryss.
Signing off.